You know, guys, we are officially in the last quarter of the NFL regular season, and the Steelers started off with an AFC matchup that is very important as they host the Tennessee Titans. In fact, this is the final stretch of the season where the rest of their games, they will all be AFC teams.
It's a big game coming up. A big, big game for the Pittsburgh Steelers at Heinz Field.
It really is. A game we will actually be at. This is actually going to be our first Pittsburgh Steelers game live in stadium.
I cannot wait, man. I am super pumped, super excited to get back to Pittsburgh to go to our first Steelers game. I cannot wait. I really cannot wait.
I have no idea what to expect, but I'm incredibly excited.
I think that's the exciting part.
Yeah, of course it is. We'll be joined by Code Steel and our sister Steel Blondie. Shout out to them. I can't wait for the weekend, man. I really cannot wait. Going out there Saturday morning, spending the night, going to hit up Heinz and just hopefully enjoy the game.
I think regardless, we're just going to have a blast.
Of course we're going to have a blast, but hopefully we have a bigger blast, in that meaning that we walk away with a fucking victory.
That's a lot easier said than done because the Tennessee Titans, man, they're 9-4 for a reason.
They are.
And they have sustained a lot of injuries throughout the season. They don't have Derrick Henry. He's on IR. He's been on IR for quite some time now. A.J. Brown's on IR. Julio was on IR, but he came back just last week. They still have former Pittsburgh Steeler Bud Dupree on IR. I don't know if he's going to be coming back.
Which sucked because one of the things I was looking forward for this game was Bud Dupree coming home.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's going to happen this week. In fact, Ola Adaney, former Steeler himself, will probably have to start in absence again.
Yeah. And they still have Caleb Farley, their rookie cornerback, first-round pick on IR, who I think is going to be an absolute stud for them.
Right. But although they have all these injuries, they're still 9-4, which is quite impressive. I know they lost two straight a few weeks back to the Texans and to the Patriots. They got a dominating comeback victory versus the Jags by shutting them out 20-0. Now they host a Pittsburgh Steelers team that's... What word can I use to describe this team?
Inconsistent. I think that's the most...
That's the most basic term I could use. But yes, very inconsistent is this team.
Incompetent team, I guess.
I suppose, yeah.
It's not a good team. Let's just put it at that. I mean, let's be real here. We're not a good football team.
No, not at the moment.
The team doesn't really show up. They're basically the same team week in and week out. They have the same game plan every week, and they don't have a strong mentality.
No, it's just...
They don't have a strong culture like they used to.
It's like every week is just... it's like turning the movie back on rewind. It's like repeat.
It literally
it's like
is.
A loop. Honestly.
It's rinse and repeat.
This is the time where this team really has to step up in this last quarter of the season, because although we lost versus the Vikings last Thursday night, and we are on a mini bye this week, the Bills lost to the Bucks, the Bengals lost to the Niners, and the Ravens lost to the Browns. That was the best case scenario for us. If we would have won, then that would have been great, but unfortunately we lost. But the fact that all those teams lost while we still lost, that still puts us in some favor for some sort of playoff hopes.
Yes, it does.
So if and plus the AFC playoff hunt is tight. You got the Colts in there, the Bills, the Broncos, of course the Browns.
The Dolphins are even in there.
So the hunt is it's gonna be fun to watch.
There's a lot of teams fighting for playoff contention.
But let me ask the Steelers, man, how bad do they want it?
That's a good point. How bad do they want it?
How bad do they want it? Against this Tennessee Titans team that, yes, has sustained injuries, but is still 9-4 for a reason. I think we'll start with the Titans offense, man.
Ryan Tannehill leads the team at quarterback. He's been very stellar since joining them.
Yeah, it was a complete career turnaround for him. Now, this year, he's been relied on a lot with Henry out pretty much half the season. And he hasn't really lived up to much. Now, granted, he doesn't have most of his receivers healthy. He has pretty much very bad depth as his number 1 and 2 receivers. Not really reliable tight end either. And the O-line's not giving him any favors because he's the third most sacked quarterback in the league right now. But he's also been very turnover heavy. 13 picks on the year. So,
with that being said, we got to try to make sure that Tannehill throws some turnovers.
the way to do that, though, is we have to stop this rushing attack of the Titans.
Yeah, and they don't have Derrick Henry, but they still have guys like Dante Foreman and Dontrell, what's his name? Dontrell
Hilliard, I think.
Hilliard or something like that, and Jeremy Nichols. They still got guys that can run the ball effectively with the Titans.
Especially Foreman, who's, done very solid so far.
Yes, he has.
But I still don't trust this rushing attack. I don't trust this rushing defense at all.
No, because you saw the amount of holes, the amount of gaps that was left wide open.
And the size. I mean, it's just disgusting to watch. So the Titans could very well pull off something similar. And if we can't fill the gaps, if we can't shut down or at least limit that Titans rushing offense, it's going to be rinse and repeat all over again. It's going to be another long day for Steeler Nation. In Hines.
Yes, it is. Like Steelers defense, rush defense, they have to show up.
This defense specifically has to show up. If we can limit the rushing attack, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we can get Watt, Highsmith, and Hayden back in this game. Thankfully, due to the mini bye week, they'll give these guys some extra time to rest up, hopefully be 100% by Sunday. So if we get Watt, Highsmith, and Hayden back, that'll be big. So if we can somewhat limit the Titans' rushing attack, maybe our great pass rush can get to Tannehill and force mistakes, which he's done all year.
Yeah.
Again, he's the third most sacked quarterback in the league. So I like our chances if our defense can limit the rushing attack because it gives our pass rush and our secondary the ability to do what they got to do. Otherwise, if they can't have that opportunity, then it's going to be a long day for this defense and for this offense. But let's say this defense actually shows up. Let's say this defense plays to par as what they should. Then, of course, the offense is going to be relied on. And there's many complaints with this offense.
Many complaints, like pretty much at every position, outside of maybe running back and tight end.
Right, pretty much. And
somewhat
receiver.
Yeah, and those are obvious. Deontay Johnson, Najee Harris, Pat Fryermuth, they're freaking stars.
And somewhat quarterback. But this rushing attack, Najee is a beast. We all know Najee's a gem. God bless him. He's about to hit 1,000 yards shortly. As a rookie against this god-awful line, God bless him.
Goes to show the type of back he truly is.
He really is, man.
Goes to show you the type of talent the guy possesses.
I just don't know how much of a rushing attack we can get going on Sunday because we're facing statistically the second best ranked rushing defense in the league. And this Titans defense, it didn't start off good at all. It had a very bumpy start, but the past number of weeks, they have stepped up tremendously. They have forced a lot of turnovers. They've gotten in the end zone. They've gotten to the quarterback. Guys like Harold Landry's having a very underrated season. Same thing with Jeffrey Simmons, Danico Autry. Their linebackers are stepping up.
Yeah, they got David Long. They picked up Zach Cunningham off waivers after the Texans released him. They still got Rashad, what's his name? Rashad Evans. So, Jayon Brown, their front seven is very underrated.
It's very stacked, actually. And although they're dealing with injuries, like, for example, Bud Dupree, they're still doing what they got to do. So, against this terrible offensive line, especially interiorly, I'm a little worried. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know how much of a rushing attack we can get going with Najee, and we might have to force the ball into Ben's hands again.
In which, I know we can establish a rushing game because it's shown that we can. I know for a fact we can, but I feel like with the fear of the Titans' number 2 ranked rush defense, something tells me that they'll try to run the ball, but it won't work, and then they'll just give the ball in Ben's hands and rely on him in this game. And to be honest, I don't know how I feel about that. I don't. Because, Tennessee's secondary really ain't all that great, but they still got guys. Christian Fulton, Kevin Byard's having another great year.
Right.
Amani Hooker's really stepping up. They got guys in that secondary that can get the job done. And if you're going to rely on Ben to help you win this game, I don't know how I feel about that. Ben has been playing a lot better recently. He has. I'm not going to deny that he has. It's showing. But I don't know. Something about that just worries me because Ben, with his play style, it's quite inconsistent this season.
It's more so the line. Honestly, because the line doesn't do anyone favors for this offense.
No, it doesn't. We all know the line's trash.
No, I don't know what to expect from this offense, man. There were talks and interviews and practice and all that, right? About the offense wanting to go in no huddle a little more often. Guys like Deontay, guys like James Washington, they want to get in no huddle more often. And have you noticed every time we go into no huddle, we actually get points on the board? So why don't we do that in the first half? Why do we wait till we're down a fucking million to finally wake up and go no huddle offense? Why can't we get some of this starting in the first half? Especially if this rushing defense can't step it up come Sunday. Then you're just going to do the same game plan you've done every fucking week against the Chargers, against the Lions, against the Bengals, against the Vikings, and then we're going to be down a large amount, and then you guys are finally going to wake the fuck up. Why don't we get some of that in the second half, in the first half?
Literally.
Why don't we run some no huddle? It's working. It's worked in the past when we had to use it.
So why not
establish it?
Yeah, why not use it in the first half, in the first quarter? Why not set the tone early? Because that's something that this offense has not been able to do all season. They don't set the tone early, or even if they do, they don't do anything afterward.
And who knows? Maybe the defense does step it up. We can get some turnovers, and maybe the offense does run some no huddle at a consistent base when they should. And who knows? Maybe the Steelers do walk away with victory against the Tennessee Titans. Oddly, I'm looking at this game, and I do somewhat see the Steelers pulling this off somehow.
I mean, Tennessee, I mean, they are beatable. They are a beatable team with these injuries and whatsoever. They can be and are a very beatable team. I mean, for God's sake, the Houston Texans beat them.
Right.
I don't even care if they're division rivals. The Texans can beat them. I know for a fact we can beat them. But it's a matter of if this team's going to show up. It's a matter of if this team's going to have the right game plan. It's a matter of if this team's going to be consistent. It's a matter of if this team's going to have a true freaking football mentality to go out there and get the job done for a full 60 minutes.
This is the time of the year where this team has to pick it up. The AFC North, of course, the AFC North ride is going to be nuts, but the AFC playoff hunt is going to be even more of a crazier ride. A lot of teams are fighting for a playoff spot right now.
About the AFC North, it's not looking great. It's not looking great whatsoever. The Ravens, I mean, they're dealing with so many injuries. Lamar Jackson's hurt right now. The Browns aren't really being effective in the running game, and they're kind of lackluster at times. And the Bengals, they've kind of been knocked off their high horse a little bit.
Right.
So with what's going on right now in the AFC North and even the AFC Conference, Steelers got to take advantage. I think that starts in this game against Tennessee.
They're going to have to.
They need to take advantage.
And if they don't in this game, you could very well say season over.
Because we have to win out. We have no choice but to win out. That is the only option if you really, truly want to make a case for the playoffs.
Unless the Steelers, like they've always done, want to go that impossible, hard, crazy, brain-hurting route where they got to win this game and this team has to lose to this team and this and that's got to happen.
Yeah, rely on other teams to get you in the playoffs, basically. Which I'm not really a fan of. I never was. I always felt like if you want to get into the playoffs, you got to go out there and do your damn job.
You got to earn it. Like, why are you asking for other teams to do the job for you? Do the job yourself. And it starts come Sunday against the Titans.
Yes, it does. This team should have been stepped up. Should have stepped up after the bye week. But right now, you got AFC opponents for the rest of the way.
The entire rest of the way, which is very important for numerous reasons. You guys already know. So you got to go into this game and step it the fuck up in this last quarter.
Yes, you do.
You really do. And it starts Sunday versus the Titans in Heinz Field at home.
So go out there and get the job done. Go out there and get a W.
Exactly.
Because we need it.
Hopefully we get some guys back on the defense and they can do what they got to do. Maybe they finally step up and show us what they are truly made of, what we know they can do, and maybe the offense can step it up.
Yeah.
Is that being a little too optimistic? I don't know. But for some reason, when I look into this game, I can see the Steelers pulling off victory because it seems like the type of game they would do something like that.
Yeah.
Because it's the Steelers. But
it's the Steelers' way. It's how they are. Same old Steelers.
I don't know. But hopefully they don't pull off the same shit they've been doing the last 4 or 5 weeks where the defense can't do nothing. We can't stop the run. We're down 1,000 points, and then the defense finally wants to step up, and the offense wakes up in the fourth quarter. If that happens again, Jesus Christ.
I will not be surprised one bit for it to happen.
But that's got to stop, man. You got to pick it up in the first half. Seriously.
Yeah, you do.
Tired of seeing the same movie over and over again, man.
Hey, you ain't alone, brother. You ain't alone.
This team's got to step it up for a lot of reasons, man. They got to convince us. They got to convince the league. They got to get a win for the North, for the AFC playoff hunt. This is a big game, man. In fact, the rest of the season is big, but none bigger than right now because one game at a time. one game at a time, and we got the Titans come Sunday.
Yeah, we do.
And I cannot wait to head to Pittsburgh for this game, our first Steelers game live. I don't know what to expect. I just can't wait to get back to Hines, man.
No, I can't wait to be at the stadium once again, to be surrounded by Steeler Nation with the terrible towels waving, with Renegade more than likely playing to hype up the fans and the team.
That's going to be our first experience, bro. I can't wait.
Dude, I'm already having I'm wearing a jacket. I'm having goosebumps.
Yeah, really.
I cannot wait. I'm fucking pumped. I love going to Pittsburgh. I love that place.
But to witness a Steelers game, that's obviously the top of our bucket list. And hopefully we can finally scratch that off.
And this time of year, with where the Steelers are right now, with playoff implications, although it kind of sucks, I think it's kind of the right time to go. Because that's where it really starts to get your feelings going.
Yeah, it gets really anticipated. So it's going to be a wild experience. I can't wait. But hopefully Steelers get a dub, and hopefully we can end our trip a lot better if we can come out with a dub. But let us know you guys' thoughts down below, man. Let's get this win versus the Titans. Should be a very interesting game. Could be a very tight game, actually. Possibly come down to the wire for sure. But I'm going to enjoy it no matter what because it's our first Steelers game. But let us know you guys' thoughts down below. Here we go, Steelers. Let's get this dub and see you guys in the next one.
Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you later.
Peace!